My people, welcome back to my channel. And if it's your first time seeing my face, then salutations. My name is Priscilla and I make videos to help you smell good, look good and feel good. So if that's something you're interested in, then please consider subscribing, like this video, and let's get right into the video of today. I'll be talking about my top 10 recommendations of favorite gourmand fragrances. So these are fragrances that make you feel like a sweet one. These are fragrances that are very fruity, sweet. It's perfect if you're a sweet tooth. You know that famous idiom that says as sweet as sugar? Yes, this is the category. Category is sweetness, fruitiness. So I'm here to present 10 of my favorite gourmand fragrances in my collection. So yeah, without further ado, let's get right into the fragrances. The first fragrance I'll be talking about is one from the house of Lancôme, and it's called La Vie est Belle. La Vie est Belle is a fragrance that basically means life is beautiful. Now I've got a flanker here, and this one is called Bouquet de Printemps, but it's a flanker of La Vie est Belle. La Vie est Belle is a beautiful, sweet, floral fragrance that is very mass appealing. So there are loads of people that love this fragrance. I think sometime in 2018 it actually won the award for the most popular or most loved fragrance, and I can see why. It's lovely. It's a fragrance that you can wear all seasons. It's also very perfect for layering. To my nose, this is like a floral, sweet, slightly fruity sort of fragrance. Notes in this fragrance are blackcurrant, pear, jasmine, iris, orange, praline, vanilla, patchouli and tonka bean. So even from the notes you can tell that there are loads of sweet things in this one. There's the tonka bean, there's the vanilla. Those are very sweet notes, and then you have that perfectly blended and balanced with the fruity notes in this one, like the blackcurrant and the pear. So it makes it a very sweet floral fragrance. It is very long lasting. With this one you definitely get 8+ hours of wear, and it's one of my favorite sweet gourmand fragrances. So yeah, that's La Vie est Belle. Next fragrance I'll be talking about is one that came into my collection this year, and it's such a sultry, sexy fragrance, and it's called Scandal by Jean Paul Gaultier. Now with this fragrance, there's the other version, that's the one called Scandal by Night, but I decided to go with just the regular Scandal. I've heard really good things about Scandal by Night as well, but here in my hands I've got just the regular Scandal. A little story time about this fragrance. Now I had actually smelt it on a friend during our little Christmas get together, and I had asked her what she was wearing, and I think she mentioned Scandal, but I never made a mental note of it until I purchased it, and then she saw that I had purchased it and she was like, "Oh, you finally got the fragrance I was wearing." I'm like, "You wore it?" She's like, "Yeah, you even complimented me." So I think with this fragrance, it was always meant to be between me and this fragrance. It's a really lovely fragrance. It's quite floral but also very sweet. Now with the notes in Scandal, we've got blood orange, you've got honey. I mean, what can be sweeter than honey? Maybe sugar, but yeah, you've got honey. You've got gardenia, orange blossom, jasmine, peach, beeswax, patchouli, caramel and licorice. I mean, licorice, my mouth is already watering just thinking about these notes. But licorice is a really nice type of sweet. You've got honey in this one. So this is really packed with a lot of sweet notes. It is sweet. It's got some floral notes in there. It's a very lovely fragrance, and it's got projection. This one projects a lot. So yeah, that is Scandal by Jean Paul Gaultier. And I didn't even talk about the bottle. The bottle is so unique. I think it's got a lady's legs upside down, but yeah, there you go. So yeah, that is Scandal by John Paul Gaultier. Next fragrance I'll be talking about is the latest baby to come into my collection. This was recently released by the House of Kayali, and it's a fragrance called Sweet Diamond Pink Pepper 20. I have a separate video on my channel where I really dive deep into this fragrance. So if you want to see that video, please head over to my channel after you watch this one. It's a really lovely fragrance, and again, it's from the House of Kayali, and it's called Sweet Diamond Pink Pepper 25. It comes in this really lovely pink bottle with the diamond sort of diamante cover. Now with this fragrance, the reason it's made it to this list is, although it's more of a floral fragrance, it dries down very sweet. And that's because it's got vanilla orchid in its base notes. So it starts off floral, but it dries down sweet. I really like it because it develops. Like the longer you stay with this one, the more it turns out to be this really sweet fragrance. Notes in this fragrance include pink pepper, bergamot, royal lily, saffron, Bulgarian rose, rose centifolia, magnolia, vanilla orchid, sandalwood, patchouli, sensual musk, and gold amber. So a combination of that gold amber note and the note of vanilla orchid in this one make it such a sweet and beautiful fragrance as it dries down. So yeah, I definitely recommend Sweet Diamond Pink Pepper 25 by Kia. The fragrance I'll be talking about is one that I absolutely love to layer with my fragrances. It's very versatile and yet very, bold, and it stands out even when you layer it with other fragrances. And this fragrance is from the House of Marc Jacobs, and it's called Daisy Love. I have the Daisy Love variation, and I really like it because it's very fruity. Now the bottle has got this daisy sort of flower as the cover, and then it comes in a glass bottle, and as you can see, the juice is sort of like golden brown, if you can see that. I really love this fragrance. When it first came into my collection, when I saw the notes, actually I thought, what would this smell like? But when it came into my collection, I don't know, it just grew on me. I think I'm even going to wear it. Like, I really like it. It's so lovely, it's so girly, it's so warm, it's so fruity. And the notes in this one include cloudberry. It's got cloudberry in it, daisy, cashmere, and driftwood. So the cloudberry notes is the fruity notes in this one, and it makes it a very fruity and sweet fragrance. I really like it. I really like to layer it with other fragrances when I want my other fragrances to have a bit of that note of fruitiness in them. And yeah, that's it for this one. Moving on to more niche sweet fragrances, gourmand type fragrances in my collection. And the first one I'll be talking about is one that loads of people have talked about, and it will be the only oud fragrance to make it to this list. It's one from the House of Maison Lancôme, and it's called Oud. I just had to talk about it. Like, this list will not be complete without this fragrance. I really like it because, to be honest, oud is not one of my favorite notes, and it's not, I don't own many oud fragrances, but Oud Bouquet is generally a really easy way to start your way into oud. It's not too harsh, it's not too cloying, it's not too overpowering, and this one is beautifully blended in such a way that it's sort of sweet. So it's a really nice. Oh, I love this fragrance. If you can see, I've put a dent in it. I really like this fragrance. So this one are praline, oud, rose, vanilla, guaiac wood, and copper wood balm. From the notes, you can tell that it's got that praline in it, and praline is a very sweet note. It's also got vanilla in it, so that makes it very sweet. So it's an oud, but it's a sweet type of oud. So if you're looking to add an oud fragrance into your collection, but you don't want something too harsh, something too bold, and you want that touch of sweetness in your oud, I definitely recommend Oud Bouquet. The next fragrance is one from the House of Parfums de Mali, and I'm sure you've already guessed it. Yes, it is Delina. Now, there was a lot of talk about Delina last year, 2020, and I can tell why. It's such a beautiful, lovely fragrance. When this fragrance first arrived with me, to be very honest, I just thought, wow, it's got this punch to it, and I immediately could tell that it was because of the incense note in this one. It's very can you see what it's doing to me? Like, it's very, I don't even need to spray. From the atomizer, I can already tell that it's a very sweet fragrance. It's got this punch to it, and it's very long lasting. Now the notes in this fragrance include lychee, rhubarb, bergamot, nutmeg. In the middle notes it's got Turkish rose, peony, musk, petalia, vanilla, and then in the base notes it's got cashmeran, vetiver, cedar, and incense. So as you can see in the notes of this one, it's got loads of sweetness in it. It's got the vanilla note in it. It's got some rhubarb, which is a very sweet. I love a rhubarb and apple pie. I like rhubarb. I like a rhubarb pie. So these are very sweet, fruity. This is sort of like a very sweet, fruity fragrance. So I definitely recommend it. And that is Delina by Parfums de Mali. Now, the next fragrance I'll be talking about is one that is almost everybody's sweetheart, and it's from the house of Xerjoff, and it's called Lira. Now, I have another video on my channel where I talk exclusively about the house of Xerjoff because they've just got loads of beautiful fragrances, but this one is called Lira. Now, this is famously known as a lemon drizzle cake or a lemon pie. That's the way most people would describe this fragrance to you. It's a beautiful fragrance. I've only got it in the 30 ml, and I wish I had it in maybe the 50 ml, but it's a really lovely fragrance. It's a vanilla fragrance with a hint of lemon in it. It's quite sweet. It's definitely a gourmand fragrance. The notes in this one, you've got blood orange, bergamot, lavender. In the middle notes, you've got cinnamon, licorice, jasmine, and in the base notes you've got caramel, vanilla, and musk. So you've got loads of sweet things in there. You've got the cinnamon, you've got the licorice, you've got the vanilla. These are all sweet notes to have in a fragrance. I mean, you've got the caramel in this one. Oh my goodness. You've got blood orange. And one thing I like about this fragrance is as it evolves, it turns into something new. It evolves into something, and that's because of the different notes. So I mean, you've got blood orange in that top note, and then when that goes away, you've got, other sweeter notes in the middle note and in the base notes. So in the middle notes, you've then got cinnamon coming out there, and then in the base notes, you've got that vanilla to sort of keep that sweetness going. So this is Lira by Xerjoff, and of course, it had to make its way to my top 10 gourmand fragrances in my collection. The next fragrance I'll be talking about is still from the house of Xerjoff, and it's one called Erba Pura. I have gone on and on about this fragrance on my channel because I just absolutely love it. If you haven't got Erba Pura, can you just explain to me in 3,000 words why you haven't? No, we're not going to wait for you to do the explanation. Go get Erba Pura. Erba Pura is such a sweet burst of fruits. Simply put, I'm not going to say anymore because the fragrance does the talking for itself. When you get it, it will tell you why you should get it. I don't need to sell this one to you. It's a beautiful fragrance. It's got so many it's the most fruity fragrance I actually have in my collection, and it's very long lasting. It's a compliment getter. It's a beast mode fragrance. Now the notes in this fragrance are Sicilian orange, Calabarian bergamot, Sicilian lemon, and then in the middle notes it just says fruits because it's a combination of so many fruits, and then in the base notes you've got white moss, Madagascar vanilla, and amber. So a combination of that vanilla, amber, you've got fruits in the top note, you've got that lemon and orange, and then in the middle note you've just got fruits. What could be sweeter? Come on, what could be sweeter? This is a beautiful fragrance and definitely deserves a spot on my top 10 gourmand fragrances. The next fragrance I'll be talking about is one from a house called Amouage. Now Amouage is a fragrance house that you just have to spend time with. Their fragrances they're like an acquired taste. You have to spend time with them to love them. But with this fragrance, I didn't need to spend too much time to know that I loved it, and that is a fragrance called Love Tuberose. Now, I am not a massive fan of tuberose, but this is tuberose well done. This is tuberose that is grown, but at the same time has got that hint of sweetness that just calms it down. I really like this fragrance. Oh, beautiful. And the most unique note in this fragrance, apart from the tuberose, is the whipped cream note. So that's why I think blends with the tuberose to make this fragrance very sweet and very nice, makes the tuberose very bearable in this fragrance. Now the notes in this one are tuberose, gardenia, jasmine, whipped cream, vanilla, sandalwood, and cedar. So it's got that whipped cream note, it's got that vanilla notes to blend beautifully with the cedar and the sandalwood, and then you've got the tuberose. So it's just a really all-round, well-blended, beautiful tuberose fragrance. If you're looking to start your journey into tuberose, because I know some of these notes are an acquired, you know, you just have to spend time with them, ease your way into them. I mean, yeah, if I was to say it that way, just ease your way into them. I mean, Oud is one of those notes. I think Tuberose is another one of those notes. And this is a really nice way to ease your way into Tuberose. And that's Love Tuberose by Amber. Now we've come to the last fragrance on this list, my personal favorite. And it's from the house of Kilian, and it's called Angel Share. Oh my goodness, I love this fragrance. Like, it's so dear to my heart. Like, this is one fragrance that anytime I walk past my perfume stand, I just pick it up and I'm like, ah. Like, I just like to smell it. It's a beautiful fragrance. This is from the house of Kilian, and you know, as you may or may not know, Kilian are the people or the family behind Hennessy. Now with this fragrance, you can see that it just looks like a whiskey glass or a cognac glass, and the notes in this one are cognac, cinnamon, tonka bean, oak, praline, vanilla, and sandalwood. It's just yummy. I just think it's such a yummy fragrance. Really nice for like winter, autumn months. So yeah, these are the sweet, fruity, gourmand, my top sweet, fruity and gourmand fragrances in my collection. If there are any other recommendations that are not on this list, please comment it down in the comment section. Tell me what you want me to try. And I have to love it, because if I don't love it, I'll be coming for you. I'm joking. But I hope you've enjoyed this video. Let me know by liking, subscribing,